Oh, hey, hello. Welcome to Everyday Experts. I'm your host, Sir Joker, a poetical son, Joker, Sir Achilles, Sir Achilles. Um, my guest today is going to probably call me Achilles because not everybody knows me as Joker. He knew me the pre-Joker days. Um, so we have a very interesting and dynamic human being today on the show. One of my college basketball teammates, became family. We were both from not Massachusetts at the time, so we were anomalies in that sense. I played 3.5 years there. He was one of the few people that I played all my whole career with there. Um, and he was a person whose game evolved, who I think he met his girlfriend then, now his wife. I want to say second or third month there or something, and they've been together since. Kelly's awesome. Kelly's amazing. They have the two dynamic children. Um, but honestly, John, but I call him Jersey, is probably one of like the most authentic people I've met. He's always been nice to me. I transferred to my school, which was it was North Adams. It changed to MCLA. I transferred to MCLA 97, so it was my midway through my first semester. I walked onto the team. I didn't know a lot of people, but Jersey was always cool to me. He was always very nice, and he's always been like that. Um, he is very authentic and very true, and honestly one of the nicest people I know. I know I say that sometimes, but he really is probably one of the nicest people I know. So without further ado, second all time in taking charges at MCLA, John Jersey Lauterhahn.
My man. All
Yes,
right.
well,
We're taking shots early, huh?
no shot, no. I gave you praise and adulation, and all that
I
stuff. Like, of
I I don't deserve it. I
course you
appreciate all
do.
those kind words, and I appreciate you acknowledging that my skills and teaching you how to take a charge got you to number one.
You know what? I'm gonna let you have that 'cause it's your platform today. I'm gonna let you take that W.
I
Um.
appreciate it. Seriously, humbled to even be here. To think of me as an expert of anything is mind blowing. So thanks, my friend. Family
Oh
always.
man, you are expert in a lot of stuff, and we're gonna get to all of it. Are you ready to take flight, young sir?
I'm good. I'm good. It's great to see you in person, kind of, and
Yeah.
yeah, it feels like no time has elapsed.
Right.
It's the way we roll.
Yeah. I've always felt like we've had that relationship where it was like pick up right where we left off.
Absolutely.
And it was never really like, and it's funny because we don't really talk a lot of basketball at all.
No, no, not really. Oh, it's family and life.
Yes. So, where do we start? Let's start with my first question I ask everybody. If you could be
Okay.
a werewolf, a wolf, a vampire, a ghost, a serial killer, a zombie, or a witch, which would you be and why?
I'm thinking Ghost.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
you're a pain. You just up.
yeah, because probably because I'm a prankster, and it could definitely, my mind is just immediately picturing the movie Beetlejuice and messing with people behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, I can see that 1,000%. That makes sense though. That's your whole vibe. Um, that is your whole vibe, just to be you. I think that was two things that I think we had in common. I think because we were so our personalities were the most similar due to like being from you from Jersey and me being from New York, and they just lumped it all together because it wasn't Massachusetts. They didn't really care.
Yeah.
But I was always like, oh yeah, that's my guy. He's close enough to New York. Um,
Absolutely.
um, so growing up in New Jersey, what was that like? What was young Jersey like? Young John like?
Ball of energy, people would probably say, but shy. Believe it or not, who I am now. People say I'm an outgoing at work. Some people call me the mayor because I talk to everyone, but I was shy. I had 3 older brothers that did the talking for me, so I didn't need to, and then 2 younger sisters. So it was 6 of us, with with
Mhm.
just something always going on. It's just lots of good memories. We're all still tight. I mean, you see the pictures I post. We all try to get
Oh,
together as much as we can, and it was. I don't have any bad memories of childhood. We were spoiled. We weren't. We 6 of us on teachers' salaries, so we were.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
just I don't know how my parents did it.
And
But
for the
it's
record,
we all
his
go ahead, my
parents are
bad.
awesome. No, you're good. His parents are awesome. I was just gonna piggyback what you were saying. And the pictures always together. Like, I don't know if you guys have family reunions every 3 months, but that's what it seems like, which is dope. How do you guys stay that close knit? Is it your parents? Is it you guys that kind of drive the boat?
um, a little bit of everything, and probably honestly, the distance makes it easier because we're not down each other's throats all the time. It was like
Mhm.
my oldest is in South Dakota. He was in Vegas before that. The second oldest is in Puerto Rico now, but he was in Pennsylvania for forever. Um,
Mhm.
and then the other 3 are all still in Jersey. But so for me, it's so far between visits that I just soak it up. Like I get down there and there's high school friends and you and people like I don't even reach out to when I'm in the area because I'm just trying to soak up all the time with the family. So
Mhm.
it's we I don't know. I mean, we've had our moments over the years, mostly when we were younger. Now it's just we're adults and we're just watching the cousins all play together, and it's just good times. And we've all
Yeah, but and when we say them growing, when I say all of them getting together, it's the brothers, it's the sisters, it's the kids, it's his parents, it's everybody. They roll like 75 deep everywhere.
I think we got 27 in that beach house. The one year is our record.
27. That's awesome. I love that. Um, well, let's see. Immaculate Conception High School. Is that where you went?
Yes, in Montclair, New Jersey. Immaculate
Montclair.
Conception. Good old IC.
Yes. What was high school like? What was high school like? Obviously you played ball. What was it? Was basketball your only sport with all your
I
brothers? Was it
did,
competitive?
yeah, so I did 4 years of basketball and baseball. And then senior year, I did 1 year of football.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, small school. I mean, we graduated 41. I think we came in as freshmen with like 80 something and graduated 41. So we had dwindled down in half. So tight knit school. I mean, the bonds you have there, they're almost like MCLA. It's not this gigantic, overwhelming place. So
Yeah.
it's just, I have bonds there that are just, for life, just really tight. Um, just my oldest brother went there, and then the next 2 followed, and I ended up all 6 of us went there. It's just um it's all I knew for high school. It's I didn't consider anywhere else. I was excited to get there because I had seen all the teams ahead of me, and for all sports, even if they weren't good, my brother's baseball teams took some lumps over the years. We didn't have a great baseball program, but just getting
Mm,
there, watching everyone play, and then being a part of that felt special to me because like I almost put some of these guys ahead of me in like legend status. So now to be wearing the same uniform, it just was cool to me. And then we were lucky enough to be good ourselves. Number 16 in the state junior year. It was a fun
uh,
ride. Junior year, I like I said, I didn't play football that year, but the football team went undefeated, won the state championship. So it was just we were successful and it was fun.
nice. That's awesome. And that always seems to be your like kind of like your MO. You like to create memories wherever you go. And people are surprised that I don't drink. Have you ever known me to drink
No,
for as long as you know me? I
Never
would go
dropped.
to parties and I wouldn't drink, and we would just hang out, and it was just always fun. Do you remember the Crow House in the small basement where they used to have the parties with the low
Oh
ceiling?
yeah. Oh yeah. The old brick,
Those are,
nasty smelling basements.
Mhm. And those are the things that always resonated with me, the memories you would make for people, because we always had memories. We always had um, good memories. Um, Mo came, and I remember the whole
I remember him
vibe.
coming to a couple parties. Yeah, that was cool.
And you know what I liked about Mo was his leadership. He wasn't like he tried to be loud, but he wasn't like overly loud.
Mm-hmm.
But he played hard always, and he involved himself.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, he's one of the people that likes stuff and pays attention to my Facebook the most. And you wouldn't have thought that, like when he first, because of how he was, but he's such a humble, nice person. He was so good.
He just, as good as he was on the court, he doesn't get credit for how hard he worked in the classroom. I know he was worked. I always said I wish I could have been a teacher, but I didn't have the time because of basketball. There was no time to do student teaching. He did it. I don't know how he found time. And then I was lucky enough to connect with him. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, playing in some adult league, and he actually came and played a game with us. So it was cool to see him. There's a monster as always, big,
Oh, I believe it.
just jacked and cut. Nothing changed.
No, and I'm pretty sure he played overseas. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him about it because, again, what I would say is, and we're going to talk about our teammate in a second, that passed away suddenly. But what I like the people that I talked to, it's not about basketball, and it's not about remember this, remember that. It's not the Al Bundy stories. It's the getting so big and blah blah blah. And you were one of the first people to reach out to me when my parents died. It's more so than my dad that I remember because my mom was a while ago. And you were just like, oh man,
Yeah.
and it's great to see your parents still there, but you still so connected to them. And spending
Well, I
time with
mean,
them.
I know, I'm 44. They're pushing 80, so I know I'm blessed to be lucky to have them. So I do. I cherish every moment, and I went away to college, and my dad would call every Sunday night just to have that check-in. And here I am, all these years later, and Sunday night that phone rings, and I do everything I can to
That's
make sure I
awesome.
don't miss it. Yeah. So, I feel so blessed. I know how lucky I am to have them still around, leading the way and being great examples for us.
Yeah, I mean they were great parents. The only thing they got wrong was the whole Massachusetts thing. I'm not gonna forgive you for that. The whole I don't know when you became this huge Boston fan. I blame Kelly. I know she's there. Right? If she kid's not there, I'm gonna make sure I play it back for her so she hear me. I blame Kelly.
I
I
blame Steve
wonder.
Phillips for the Mets. No, go ahead.
It was crazy with Thielen. I know he was sick. I know that he had a lot going on. And just how fast he passed away. Because I remember like Ashley saying, I know he was in the hospital. I know he was sick, probably for like a year or so, I would say off the top of my head. Like, what do you remember about him? Besides, again, he was amazing on him and Mo are probably like two of the and I played with a lot of good people, just consistently good people I played.
Yeah. He, I mean, same thing, the work ethic. Like, I was just along for the ride. To be able to play 4 more years was cool, but I didn't hit the gym like those guys, whether, working out or just getting extra shots in. It was just, me, my style was more that role player. I wasn't the star. I just loved the game of basketball. And Josh took it to another level, like just constantly in the gym, getting his shots up, working out. Most same thing. You would find those two in that back gym, not even the main gym, all the time.
Yeah.
Just constantly working out. Just a perfectionist as Josh was on the court. Just always didn't want any missed shot. He would be mad. And he had he could stroke the ball.
Oh yeah.
Just early on. See, like I said, because I came from a successful team and I was just a role player. Like I wasn't used to like being yelled at. Like, and he drove that perfection out of others. Like I remember freshman year, like if you dropped a pass, you were gonna hear it. So that was like kind of new. Get it from a teammate, not the coaches.
Right.
So that it just it's like, all right, like I said, I'm along for the ride, but I'm also I don't like dropping out of the playoffs first round. Once I'm on that court, I'm giving it my all and I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
So I just always appreciated that out of him. And there was rumors after our freshman year that he was thinking of transferring, and I'm glad he didn't because we had a fun ride with him.
Yeah. I think, and he easily could have. I know he was looking at some D2 schools, and he probably could have played low D1. I mean, just because when you say the whole pat like 6'6", maybe he was 6'7", 6'6", could shoot. I mean, didn't really like playing defense, but was athletic enough. But that's what we were there for. And in all honesty, that's what we were there for. We didn't need. And that's when I learned, playing with him and playing with that team and playing and, being under Rip, the things that I learned about like team and the idea of family, because that's what he drove home. We're family, and there were times when, even Chip and all these people and Kojo and all these people that were used to one style and they kind of adjusted. Not Chip so much. I mean, Chip had his struggles just with being on the team and all that stuff, because I think by the time we were any good and Morales got there, wasn't he? I think he was a senior, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So
because he was older than us.
Our sophomore year, Mo came in, right?
So
I think Chip. I think Chip was a senior.
Yeah.
And I think he started the year, but no, yeah. No, wait, hold on. I can't think. When did we play Bard?
No, he started the year.
Beat them up.
He started the year, and I will say him and like Seth Kratz had scheduling difficulties with Rip and how he did stuff.
Yeah, Kratz was out earlier. I don't even think he made it through preseason. He was like, "No, I'm good."
I'll never forget that.
Struck the ball.
He was a good shooter, and I think just where he came from, he was used to just, okay, my job is to shoot. And he was a person that put in work too. So, kind of going back to Josh, and it's like some of the things that I valued the thing that I competed with Josh with that pissed me off was grades. I always wanted to get that like highest GPA, and no matter what, if I got a 3.6, he got a 3.8. If I got a 3.7, he got a 3.9. And what I admired about that is, Josh would go on the court and be successful, but off the court he was successful, and he was smart, he was intelligent, and he's a good-looking dude. I'm not gonna say, he's a pretty big. And like it was just like you see people that just have all that stuff come so naturally, and I appreciated that we didn't compete per se like loud and vocally, but that drive to see him getting
the drive,
nines and stuff like that. Then going in, 27, 28 points a game, and like him as a person, and even who he grew up to be, I admired more than even the basketball.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, incredible family man. Just love sharing pictures of the kids and always bragging about them. Great businessman. I followed kind of what he was doing his own thing. Whether it was the solar gig or the mortgage gig, like he was always grinding and working hard. And you could tell that he was a hard worker. I personally, I didn't know he was sick. I reached out last December because there was Hall of Fame tournament, a high school tournament in Springfield that I was going to head out to. My
Mm,
my old English teacher was the AD down at Gill in Jersey. They got some real
mhm.
good talent, and they were coming up. So since I knew I'd be in his neck of the woods, I reached out, and that's what he told me. He was like, "Jersey, I'd love to see you." He goes, "But I'm paralyzed from the waist down." He goes, "Something
Yeah,
is
when he
going on."
told me that, I was just like,
I just
wow.
wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to be like, "Oh no, I moved to North Carolina" or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was, and then I think it was Roger or Luce reached out to let me know he had really took a turn for the worse. I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. I just figured like, all right, something weird to find something, give him medicine, whatever it is, get it out of his system and bounce back. And really caught me off guard.
I remember I never got to meet Ashley, who they're actually watching. So hey guys, how you
Oh,
doing?
okay. How are you? I haven't either.
And
Just my deepest sympathies if you're watching. It's just a great man, and I can't imagine, what you're going through. So sending my prayers and love.
meeting her and just like having that random comment because Josh would, he would text randomly or Facebook
Yeah.
message you and
Oh
be
yeah.
like, "Oh, what's up, Josh? What's up, Thielen?" Because he was that person. He
Mm-hmm.
had that, and you say people are like that. You just like, oh, because when you first meet Josh, you don't get that like that family brother vibe, but down the line when it would be like he was the one that kept our relationship going.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and I respect that, and I admire that about him. And then talking to Ashley every now and then, I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? They're in Connecticut. I told her, if you need anything, let me know. And
Yeah.
seeing the girls getting so big, I'm waiting for another Thielen 22 to pop up in the WNBA. I don't even know if
Yeah.
they like basketball. Um, I don't. I
Yeah,
don't even
but
know if they like basketball.
yeah. Sure. They if they got daddy shot though, they'll do okay.
Exactly. Do you remember the first time you met Thielen?
Yeah, on my trip, on my visit as a senior, I had lunch. Him, my dad, Pry Guy, Thielen, and the Matt Capeless, our coach back then.
That's his
I
name.
met, yeah, yeah. I met both of them. They just happened to be having lunch when he took us up to the cafeteria, and I met those two guys. And
Oh, nice.
yeah. Just
I must say
and
we had
then
a lot of good guys on our team. Even the ones that were rough around Cali, he was awesome.
loved
You
Cali.
just had to get him on the court, but he was a
Yeah,
great player. Um, and because I walked on and I came mid-season, so you
yeah,
guys already had your team set. And I don't
yeah.
think Capeless wanted to bring me on the team or whatever. So he made me play Cali 1-on-1. Do you remember
No,
that?
no, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, play 1-on-1," and I played Cali 1-on-1. And I just remember, when I did make the team, I remember the first game I played, I subbed in, and people underestimate how big the people are in Division 3,
Mhm.
especially when you're a smaller sized, big-ish, big because I was like a
Yeah.
power forward. And then we played Salem. It was
I was
Salem or
gonna
Worcester.
say, Salem was the team I was thinking of. They had some big guys. I remember, like, whoa, okay.
You remember Chris? I want to say Silvestri Severi. He was like 6'10", big
Name
white
definitely
dude.
sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
He was there,
remember Salem had some big guys,
and they were
and
always
then
solid.
Mario Horton at
Oh yeah, that
Worcester was a
guy.
monster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was different. He was built different. He was a different breed.
Yeah, yeah.
But him and Mo used to go at it. And our junior year, Josh's senior year. Oh hi, hey Lisa. I remember our senior year, no, our junior year, Thielen senior year. We won it. What did we conference champions? Right, we had a good team that year.
Regular,
We had a really good
we
team,
were good. Yeah, we regular
and we
season
had
champs.
Pistol. We had a good team.
Pistol Pete, yeah.
Yeah.
We were good. We were good. We went on a tear. Unfortunately, it was after Percy left the team. He was a
Yeah.
solid player, but even with all his talent, I think we just became closer as a team, and we went on a tear. And we won a lot of games in a row in conference, and so I think we tied Bridgewater for the regular season, and then
It might have been.
the tournament was at Salem for some reason.
I think they had I forgot. I can't even tell you now. Now you guys got to fix us. This is 23 years ago.
Yeah. So I think Bridgewater got us in the tournament at Salem, and I knew if we had played that in our gym, we would have won. We would have won the tournament.
Yeah, because we had a chance. We were in a playing tournament, I think, or our division was a playing division where the winner got an automatic bid or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. To the regional or whatever. So would have been cool just to say we made that, but whatever. I still had a blast. That year was fun, and I'm proud that we put a 99 in the banner, and that's always gonna hang, and we were part of that.
I'm glad, to circle back to Thielen real quick. I'm glad that we were able to do that with him because he was such a big part of our basketball experience there.
But every experience, like you said, even it was a small school, so even hanging out at night, it was where you guys going, where you gonna be, we all rolled together, one time or another during the night, we were gonna see each other, so. It was, like you said, we kind of became a family. And I remember early on Rip having us, he was like a therapist. We'd shut our eyes and he would talk and he would have us envisioning things. And it's just like, I dug that stuff. And I was along for the ride. And Thielen for sure was our leader.
And he was, like, and to see him as he became a father, and to see him as he became a husband in his relationship with the girls and his relationship with his son, I do feel, because I do know that. Put it down. Sorry. Had to parent for a second. And his relationship with his girls was great. I do wish I could have met Ashley. She seems like a doll. And I just wonder what it would have been like if we ever had, and we tried so many times to get together, but it just never worked.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah, it's been 20-something years, and anyone I see, it's just randomly bumping into them. A couple years after college, randomly bumped into Kanozik at a Red Sox game. God, you and I haven't seen each other since 2000, so it's been 22 years. But same thing, we've tried over the years. Like, all right, I'll be around. Let's, we'll connect. And just once you throw kids in the mix, something's gonna pop up. But like you said, the great thing is that whether it was a random message from Josh. Oh, and I saw Josh at a 3-on-3 out in Springfield, probably like 3 or 4 years after I graduated. It was cool just to see him. Like, he had a scruffy beard. It's like, wait, he's an adult now. And just
so are you.
No matter what I get bored every now and then. But whether it's that random message on Facebook saying, "Hey, what's up? How you been?" or whether it's a silly text or picking up the phone, I just love that. Most of the guys I've always been cool with are like that. That it doesn't matter how long it's been. No one holds that against you or holds a grudge. It's just like we're family forever. And how you been? How's the family?
Yeah, it's been like that. Family. I found a quote. Families are like branches on a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one.
I like that.
And that's I tell people all the time, "Oh, Jersey's my brother," and I didn't say that about like Mo's family, your family. We went through so much together.
Yeah.
Do you remember the four practices in one day? Because half the people didn't make it back from Thanksgiving.
I think I got back late myself. I think I was one of the ones on it. I remember Thielen and Chip picking me up because the bus got in late.
Yeah.
And I think they were like, we haven't seen Lamboli.
Oh yeah. Oh, he got back early. I think it was him. Who was the other? Was it Coburn?
Oh, it might have been. Yep. So he's another one every now and then I bump into.
Yes.
He's in the area. He's a good dude. Same thing. It's just like doesn't matter. You know, hey, how you been? You know, and he was cool because early on he would reach out to me for like career advice, and it's like, see, hey, how's it going? You know, right out of college, I was working at the Y doing like after school program. So I remember seeing him at the movie theater. He'd be there with the camp, you know, running, you know, counselor gig and everything. So, and in our senior year, him as a junior, same thing, like preparing for life after college. I remember having some good conversations with him. So anytime we connect, it's always like, you know, it's been a minute. It's like, you know, not a minute in the in the slang sense. Like literally, it's like feels like it's been 1 minute, and we just pick up where we left off.
Yes. So, just wanted to talk about you know, Josh a little bit because he was one of those. He was a strong root, you know, because he was one of our leaders, obviously one of the best player, or him and Mo going back and forth for who was the best. I mean, whatever.
They had different games. They complemented each other.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna circle back to parenting and stuff like that. How did your parents influence you as a parent?
Lots of ways. You know, it was old school where you'd get a spanking. So one thing you knew to do things the right way. I don't remember what the story was, but I remember once my mom being mad at me because she caught me in a lie and was like, "I can't stand a liar. Don't lie to me." So that was one thing, just to be honest. But then I think they taught us a lot about accepting people for who they are, and you know, I think that's why we are, I don't know, very accepting as a family. I mean, we have a diverse group of in-laws because of, I think we weren't raised with hate, and we weren't raised that, you know, we were any different than anyone else. You know, we grew up in East Orange, which is, you know, 98% not white. You know, so and with that, we were never treated any different. But yeah, just, you know, and I remember like them, you know, back, we grew up in the 80s. Martin Luther King Day wasn't a holiday yet, you know. So, and I remember her keeping us home from school because it was right when things were changing, and it, you know, she felt like this should be a holiday, and didn't send us into school. So I think stuff like that are early memories that I have of just, um, you know, we were always around, you know, anyone and everyone. You know, we weren't taught that anyone was better than anyone, and you know, just treat people the right way. And then my dad, I'd say it's the work ethic. You know, he was a guidance counselor and just worked his tail off all the time. And I remember like when I got my first promotion at my first job, like him sending me a letter. I probably still have it in a box somewhere, you know, just about what class is, you know, and to always remain classy, and just like, and like those Sunday calls, like just, I don't know, he led by example. Just
He really did.
I'm not a wordsmith like you, but yeah, I don't know. They just they treated us to do things the right way, I would say. Catholic education up until college, you know, so we always knew right from wrong.
All you guys did. That's cool. The check-ins, do you do that with your son? I mean, I know you're still together, but is that something you plan to carry on?
I 100% plan on keeping that on. I don't know. And so other little things. So he would go on these college visitations. He would go visit schools and have conferences and all that. So, he probably didn't do it every time, but I just have this memory that every time he went away for a vacation, he came home with a little gift for all of us. So that's something I do a lot already, because I have the ability to travel for work every now and then. So I go out to San Francisco or LA, sometimes down in New York, or you'll go to a conference somewhere. So I make sure I come home with just some little gifts. It's nothing crazy, like a t-shirt or silly knickknack or candy. But yeah, I try to emulate the stuff that I remember as a kid or an adult, you know, remembering these phone calls. So Just reading Ashley's comment.
Can you bring up what Ashley said, Matt, please? Hope Matt's there.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Ashley.
Oh, of course, Ashley. That was Josh. You know, he was special and he was so loved, and it was, and obviously, like I said, just need to give me a call or a text. If I can do it, I'll do it for you. You can bring the girls down for workouts because we're a little bit closer, and nobody wants to go to Massachusetts anyway. It's cold. But yes, we're here we're part of the family. Roots and branches. We're always there for Josh and for you guys, because Josh was always there for us. Even and me and Josh. What's funny? Me and Josh. Sorry to go back. Me and Josh weren't like, we didn't do the same type of stuff. Like I said, I was pretty much to stay in because me and Tamika was still dating, and so me and you were kind of the same in that too, where we had girlfriends.
Yeah.
You remember when Rip was like, "Yeah, there's a couple of you guys that are serious about your girls," and he was like, Jersey and Achille, and it was just like, and it's just funny that like we kind of moved in that same kind of mindset. But Josh was always there. Josh was always, to talk to, always like, "Come on, man, you can do it." And I just like, I appreciated that about him. Mm-hmm. So MCLA, you are bespoken and enamored by Kelly. Tell me about how you met Kelly, how that kind of just worked out for it to be 97 years later, and y'all still.
Yeah, so fall of 96, 8th floor of Tower A. She was up there for soccer, and I showed up for school, and just was on the same floor. And yeah, like you said, a couple months later, before you know it, we were kind of chilling all the time, and it's just we were pretty much inseparable for college. I mean, we still went out and party, but we were usually at the same party, and I just can't believe how fast and long it's been at the same time. It's 25 years together, 18 married now.
18 married.
Yeah.
It's 20 soon.
We're staring that down. It'll be here before we know it. And just, I'd say we were like best friends early on. Like that's how it wasn't just like, I don't know, we were closer than just like boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but we were just like, just really good friends. And, to this day, we got the same sense of humor, and it's just and we have to remain a team to be able to raise these kids. It's hard work. It's hard work, but we're committed to it, and just I can't believe. Like I said, it feels like it's been forever, but it feels like it's been 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So
like when you step back and think like we've been together since, so we were probably like before that Christmas break, like I remember like talking to her while we were gone, and like being actually excited to get back to school. So we were like probably kind of really starting to, connect then, and then just took off. So we've been, probably November, December 96 to January 97, just like been together ever since.
When did you know that you were going to get married? When did you know when did you say that? I mean, after Kelly put you in a headlock, obviously.
No.
When did you say, "Oh, yeah, she's the one"?
I'd say I probably knew it kind of early, just like I said, because of how close we were. Like we were, took the same classes. We're just always together, I can't remember a specific time just because I think for me, I just kind of knew that's who we were. We were John and Kelly, so I knew it was probably no matter what going to happen. I pulled the trigger in October of 2003. And
the anniversary coming up, right?
Well, that's when I proposed in October of '03. Yeah. And oddly enough, I remember I could figure out the date because I remember it was the day that Pedro Martinez threw Don Zimmer to the ground. But I did it because I didn't think we were ever going to buy a house. It's just like, the prices were crazy back then, so I was like, we got to do something. So I proposed that October. Then the following August we got married, and then luck would have it, we got a house the following October. So
oh wow.
I just felt like we'd never be able to pull it off, and then just things started steamrolling. We got married in '04. Jack was born in '08. Joe in 13, and it's just I don't know.
Comes quick.
Even faster once the kids come in the picture. It's like, how is this dude 14 years old wearing a size 14 shoe, staring me eye to eye? It's like, I literally remember him driving off in that kindergarten bus the first day. Like, I can see his look back in my face, and just, I don't know, it flies. That's why I try to enjoy every minute of it.
What is the best thing about being a parent and the worst thing about being a parent? The kids.
The best is just watching the joy. There's moments I think back of, or even just now as a teenager when he's excited about something or he's telling me a story. Like he's not as big into sports as I am. We had tickets to the Red Sox last Saturday, and he was like, all right, I'll go with you, Dad. So we went in, and while we stayed for like 2 innings. We got in there late. We went out to dinner first. Him and I just had a nice meal. The two of us haven't been out, just the two of us in forever. We got to the game. The sun is beating down on us, and like I could tell 2 innings since we had been there. So we got out our seats at like the third. It's like the fifth inning, and he's got his hood over, like blocking the sun. And like he's not enjoying this one bit. I'm like, you want to walk around, go to the store? So whatever, we do that. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to go back to the seats. I'm like, all right, let's be serious. The Red Sox are out of it this year. They're playing the Royals. Like, I'm cool with that. I just really want to chill with you. At 14, those days don't come often. So. But anyway, on the ride home, he was just talking it up, and I didn't stop him. Like that was those memories are what my favorite part of being a father. Just watching him talk about what's going on in his life, and Joni plays soccer, so watching her, play this morning. She had 2 games, and like she's changed over the last couple of years, where she's really outgoing now. She used to be the shy little thing, and now she's screaming at her players like, get to midfield. Like, so that's the best part. I'd say the worst is times when you feel like you failed them, or if they see you struggling. Like, I don't know. I have high standards for myself, and certainly not a perfect human. So if you yell too loud one day, or make a mistake in your own life, unfortunately got a car accident a few years back, and like just feel like you've let the family down and stuff like that. That's probably the hardest for me.
I remember one of the hardest memories for me was when I had to, because this is during the pandemic, I had to call my kids and tell them when my dad passed away. And they knew he was sick, and they knew he was like, because this is March of 2020.
Oh yeah, the height, yeah.
Ventilators, he's in the hospital, can't see him, and then
scariest time, yeah.
And he's intubated, so he can't even really talk on the phone. And I just remember like the pit in my stomach when I'm like, oh yeah, I have to, I have to tell them their grandfather, Papa C is gone.
Yeah.
You can't see him. You can't be around him. If you want to come to the funeral was 10 people. 10 people. And it was just like, that was probably hands down one of the hardest times for me. when I was just like, yo, it's fucking crazy. Because Breaking Bad is hard in general. And they weren't as old when my mom died, so they don't remember my mom as much. They didn't have that. But my dad, they hung out with, and they had memories. And then I remember calling their mom, and their mom being like, they got off the phone with you, and they just started breaking down and crying. And that's not being able to protect them. Like I was watching Devin at a football game today. The coach started yelling at him. I was like, you. Now the team's getting smacked, and I'm not that dad that jumps in and overcoaches and blah 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 blah. If I say something, it's very poignant, very quick. Especially when I'm watching him play basketball and stuff like that. Because when I'm coaching and I have other parents, I hate that. So I don't want to be that. Not being able to put them in that bubble and protect them emotionally is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you.
So 2 kids now, and I know you're planning on more.
Not a chance.
What's it like being a girl dad?
I love it. But real quick to the 2, we said way back in college, like we would talk about that stuff. We always said 2 is what we're at. So we held to it. I love being a girl dad. Love being a dad of a son too. There's just always that father-son bond, and you just, but it's a different level with the girl. Like she's just, because she's feisty, but she's also, your sweet little girl, so it's fun just doing everything with her. She, whether it's watching her play games, but she goes on hikes with me. She'll take me to, we went to this butterfly place in the past. Like we just, I don't know, her and I are always trying to get into something, because Jack's at that age where he's like, I'm cool, I'm good. Like you can go do that, So Joan, and even with the 3 of us, like if it's not, so I would have a day off during the week a lot if I was working a Sunday. So Joan and I would always just kind of find our way into something. And I did the same with Jack when he was young. I'd call it Jack and Daddy Day. It's just, different ages, different phases of life. But I love it. It's fun. But same thing, you just feel like you always want to protect her. She came home one day this week, and she was all hungry. She said some kid was going around smashing everyone's lunch, and I got mad. I was like, what's her name? She's like, Dad, you don't know her. Relax. I'm like, I need to know. Versus with Jack, I would have been like, don't put up with that. But with her, you get a little more angry. My baby didn't eat lunch.
Right? And I think a lot of that is not even so much that he didn't eat lunch. It's that you're like, don't disrespect my child like that. Even like I said, when Devin got yelled at, he missed the tackle. He deserved to get yelled at. And it was 2 seconds. The coach was correcting him. And I was just like, But it sent my head into a spiral of, when is when? Because, correction and stuff like that. And the football is different. They got to be in your face because they want that aggression.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, it's a whole nother. And I tell people all the time, you got to be crazy to play football. But, the varsity coach, what I don't like is the varsity basketball coach and the varsity football coach. And Devin, this is only his 2nd year of football, so as big as he's still learning football, and a lot of it is they see him and they expect him to be this ferocious football player, but he's still learning football. But what I do like, the purpose football does serve is to bring out the aggression for basketball, which he needs. Which wasn't natural for him. But Joni play basketball at all? Or is he just soccer? I see a lot of soccer bitches and softball.
Yeah,
right?
she's anything she can get her hands on. So she's she did 3 years of flag football. She did soccer. She did softball. This is going to be the first year they're restarting up an old basketball league in Holbrook. When Jack grew up, they never even had it, so he never played on an official team. So yeah, she's gonna play this year. I told them I can volunteer to coach, so hopefully, they need enough
Good.
bodies that I can get in there and kind of get my hand in the game again a little bit. But yeah, so she's excited. We got a hoop out back. They're both constantly out there shooting. So
Good.
she's 4'10", 4'11" already.
How old is she?
at
I can't even remember.
9. She's 9.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
So
good.
so I mean, she's not the tallest in the class, but she's tall. So
Yeah. Girls
but
is so
she's
weird.
even
Though, like trying to traject their height.
yeah, because it can just stop overnight. Some girls just stop. But yeah, and she even talks about volleyball. She's definitely into trying anything. So we're like, yeah, whatever. She did dance for like one session, went back the next class. There was more girls, and she's like, no, I'm good. Like last time there was 4 kids, and I was happy. And then
Now there's
just
15.
sports and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
All
Jack
right.
likes to play, but he did flag football. He did a couple basketball like clinic things, but never on a team.
That's because his dad wasn't coaching.
Yeah, no, actually, so he did baseball when he was young, and I didn't coach, but I would like kind of help the coach a little bit on the side if he just needed someone extra to run drills. He did not want to listen to me, so I learned early, like, no, I can never coach him because it's just it's a different relationship. He can hear from me from dad, but he doesn't want to hear from me as a coach because he knows as dad he can choose to ignore me.
As coach, well then you don't want to play. I mean, it's your choice. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like that your dad taught you about being classy. And said always be classy. So we're gonna transition a little bit into your job.
He said no.
Boo!
You're getting booed. No, it was Jack.
No, I know. I want you to tell Kelly.
Oh, okay.
I
always do.
I'm gonna keep telling Kelly to come on. But you never will. I know that.
The chances of that are very slim.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, this is just a virtual background, so don't think I'm that fancy.
Oh, you really fancy. I know this is real. That's your Tuesday to Thursday.
You can see the dressers and the TV behind
me. I know that's your Tuesday to Thursday.
Yeah.
Your dad teaching you about class. How did that transition into professional jersey? Because you have you with a suit and tie on is the best experience.
So I mean, like I said, I went to Catholic school, so shirt and tie was nothing new to me. But yeah, I would prefer to be in a t-shirt every day or a hoodie in the fall every day of the week.
I believe you.
I mean, it's the necessary evil. You got to do what you got to do to feed these mouths and try to feel like you put that all that money your parents put into Catholic education and college to work. So I graduated with the social work degree with the social work minor, sociology degree with a social work minor, excuse me. And I thought I would save the world and, make this place better for everyone. And, within a year of working at the Y, I found that place was run just as politically as everywhere else. The managers were just out for getting extra vacation time because they got a certain certificate or extra time off. And I don't know and I was a supervisor and when a situation arose where someone did something wrong and they were supported over me because they were a family member, I was like, all right, yeah,
I'm good.
I'm making $11 an hour as a supervisor. And then, family ties are getting people. Yeah, I mean, what was that, 2000? and you're working at the Y,
I guess,
or a site coordinator is what they called it. So, yeah, it was just like, I think I'm good. I'm going to try something else, and just happened to land into a call center of a credit union, and like I'll figure out what this is all about. and just was lucky that I learned the job, learned the industry, and just, you know, I didn't like school growing up. You know, I did.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Are we doing Jimmy Nails?
Yeah, my boy.
Shoot, I lost my train of thought.
You didn't like school growing up.
Oh yeah, but I mean, at work, like it's not studying. It's like, yeah, I did just good enough to be able to keep playing sports until college, until junior year, when Rip forced us into study halls and going to the library, making sure we took time. So I had under a 2.0 after freshman year, and I graduated with over a 3.0. So finally turned it around and like, all right, I should focus. But anyway, at work, like you're forced to, like, if you don't do it, it's not like getting a bad grade. Like, no, you're now looking for a new job. So I don't know. I was successful early on, and within 2 years, I got promoted to, like, I don't think it was assistant manager, but some sort of like team lead on the call center group, and then just kind of kept growing from there. And just, yeah, I think a letter like that from your dad, when you get that first promotion and you go from the cube farm to actually having an office, like you feel like, all right, something's going on here. I'm doing something right. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. And just, I was always patient too. I think, especially what I see these days is people aren't patient enough. They think that, the promotion's going to come on day one, and, just show that you can be proficient at your current job before you worry about the next job. And, for me, it's always worked out.
Dropping jewels of wisdom. Be proficient at your current job. Before I take notes. You didn't know that? I take notes.
I like it. But yeah, I don't know. He's always, been proud of me, and I think that drives me to and the kids are proud of me. I remember going through a box of stuff under Jack's desk. It was all old toys and stuff he doesn't play with, just junk. And in the middle of it was my business card. So it's just like, stuff like that's cool.
Cool.
People are proud of you. So I do it more to, one, like I said, feed the family and keep a house over our heads, and than for just feeling like I'm successful. I do it to make them proud and keep us happy and healthy. I don't know. I can ramble all day. I hope that answered your question.
So now, what do you actually do?
Right now, I manage a call center at a bank.
Oh, okay. And so how does that actually, like, logistically work? Are you taking calls from customers that you're in charge of, or is it like, okay?
I mean, that's what our group does. I don't personally take the calls right now. I mean, I'll take an escalation and stuff like that if need be, but I have a team of 49 people under me. Yeah, believe it or not, right? How is he in charge of people? So yeah, I mean, I've grown it. So when I first was asked to manage this group, it was with the title supervisor, and there were 6 people in Boston. And we've grown that from that 6 people up to right now, like literally, if I look, my roster is 49 people. So at that time I was the supervisor. Now I've been promoted up to manager, and I have 5 supervisors under me, 3 team leads, and then a whole bunch of associates. Trying to get some people promoted up to specialists soon. But it's just, I've just always, worked hard and tried to do what's right and treat people right. And, customer service has been easy for me, because it's honestly, like relationships, just treat people right. That's all they want. They don't want you to, they don't want to feel like you're BSing them or making something up. If you don't have the answer, be honest, but set the right expectation. You know what, that's going to take me some time, because I got to go do this, and this, and that's going to take me an hour. But if you can be, patient and let me call you back, that's when you'll get your whatever you need. So, yeah, I don't know.
No, that was a good answer. So when we talk about your sports background and team building, coupled
Mm-hmm.
with your social work training, has that
Mm-hmm.
put you like? How's that prepared you for what you do now? Because I do think that you were always very like open minded and open because I didn't like the idea of us competing for a position, but there were times when we played the same position. Then that changed
Mm-hmm.
randomly. Um, and I was always one to want everybody around me to do good.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to do good. I want Mo to shine. I want Bob Bear. I want everybody to shine. You know what I mean? But I also want what I've worked hard for. So how did all of that
Mm-hmm.
kind of couple into making you the Jersey you are today?
Well, just that. It wasn't just about me. It was about the team, and I think, especially in a manager role, I think my background in sports has been vital because as a good coach will know, you don't treat Achille and Jersey the same way. You treat
Yeah.
Achille like Achille, and you treat Jersey like Jersey, and you treat
Mm-hmm.
Mo like Mo, and Josh like Josh. Everyone is different individuals, and you gotta go through the forming stage first. You gotta like really form that relationship to build the
Mm-hmm.
trust to get to the point where you know how they like to be treated. Like Achilles showing up, in the gym, peeking through the window when we're having practice, isn't gonna walk in and just all of a sudden get the trust from all of us. But he's gonna come in, he's gonna play one-on-one against Cali, and then he's gonna come back the next year stronger and faster. And
Stronger, not faster.
but it's the same thing at work.
Yeah.
On day one, I'm not gonna let you do whatever that a veteran has put in time and effort to earn. Boss, can I leave an hour early? Yes, go, because you just killed it this week. Versus week one, like are they trying to take advantage of kindness, or that you have to earn it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I've been good. And you know, in sports, you have to have the time. Like I said, you have the times where Thielen like yelled at us, like if we drop a pass
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's the same thing. Not that I yell as a boss, but there's times where if you're doing something wrong, I'm gonna have the tough conversation with you. So being able to, I'll give you all the leeway you want, and I'll let you try to earn the trust to get perks and benefits, or be first on line for a promotion or whatever. Um, but as soon as you do something to take that trust away, we're gonna have a conversation about it. Honestly, I don't. I consider it coaching. Like I don't ever try to do any of my reprimands, anything as a reprimand. It's not like you did this wrong and you're bad. It's like you did this. That's not acceptable. It's not within our expectations. This is what you can do next time to avoid having a conversation like this. Or you can keep doing what you're doing, and the next conversation is this and this and this, and so I don't know, but and a lot of that comes with. So I didn't just stop learning at college. You go to leadership trainings, management trainings, you learn on the job the best way. You can learn anything you want from a leadership thing, but nothing can teach you what you learn on the job, good or bad. I've I had situations I wish I would have handled differently, at work too. But then there's also the times like, having a 22-year-old, come to you because their uncle just got hit in a motorcycle and passed away.
Mm.
Like no leadership training is going to teach you how to put your arm around that kid and send him home and say, work is the last thing you need to worry about. Get out of here, and and to show up at the funeral and have his mom say, wow, my boss isn't even here and he's only worked for you for 6 months. Like that's amazing. Like those are the things I try to do, like treat my team like humans. Yeah. And I don't know, I care about my team immensely. As big as it is, you would think it's just numbers to me, and it's not. It's 49 separate individuals that I want to know how their day's going, know who their family is and how they're feeling and what their background is, where they come from, to know at any given time what they might be going through.
So when you were talking just now, because you were
Mm-hmm.
so inspiring, I thought of Candace. I was watching the Candace Parker interview, and she was talking about leadership versus bosses. She said leaders pull, bosses push. Bosses push you to
Mm-hmm.
do shit. Leaders pull you. They pull you
Mm-hmm.
along. And one of the when you were talking about Thielen, he pulled. He was a pull. He
Mm-hmm.
pulled you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and again, and I tell my kids this all the time. There was nothing that was natural and just uber talented about me when it was basketball. It was hard work. Nothing was like, oh, here, I'm going to give you a 45-inch or this or that, So when I was on the court, just like you, and, you were a shooter and you would score all that stuff, but it was hard work. That's what got you there. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
always got me to that level. So what I found interesting is that you are a puller too. So how does that convey into your life? How does that convey into your home life, to your marriage, and to you as a father? Because you just talked about it as at work, but how do you
Yeah.
pull like parenting and and you're like,
Yeah. I mean, it's different because we're co-managers. We pull together. I think the biggest part to get them to let you pull them is that they know why you're pulling them. You know what I mean? Where are we
right,
going? Where where are you dragging us? Are you pulling us into the woods? Or are you pulling us, to an exotic sunset? So I think making sure that people know where you're going is the most important to allow them to pull you. Um, and yeah, I'm humble, so I you know try to avoid like saying I'm a great leader, but for whatever reason, I'm in my position at a
why not
really
take your
at a.
flowers?
I
Take your
know. But
flowers,
anyway,
Jersey.
I must be
No,
doing
not
something right.
anyway. Not
um,
anyway. You are doing a lot of stuff right.
yeah, and I see those memes and gifs all about leader versus boss, and that's absolutely who I am. And because to get here, I've learned from the pushers and the pullers. I've taken
Yeah.
just as much from the bad bosses as I have the great ones. But like little things, I remember, when I first became a branch manager, my boss coming into my office every day just to say hi, putting her feet up and saying good morning. It wasn't a formal meeting. It was a hello, how's your day going? So, before COVID, I would go to everyone's desk before I took my coat off, and just to make sure everyone got a fist bump or a high five or a good morning, whatever the case may be, just to make sure that they knew when I show up at work, they're the most important thing to me. More important than getting in my office and taking my jacket off. That's saying hello to everyone. So I don't how it translates to home. I mean, I think it's at home. It's just more natural because you got to raise kids to be right. And it's just like you need to just be a leader. And I think it's again, it all goes back to how you started. It's talking about my parents. Watching how they did it. I don't know. I don't feel I answered that one as good as some of the
I
others,
think you
but
answered that question amazingly because and I will take a second. So everybody asked me, everybody, and Matt can confirm. Matt can pop on and say, yup. Everybody asked me, I don't have nothing to talk about. Why would you have me on your show? All the time. Oh. And what happens is we're so caught up in like just, hustle and bustle. And, North Carolina, Massachusetts is different than New York and New Jersey because, they move fast there, but you know how it is around here. It's ming. So you're so busy on to the next thing that you don't even realize how many things you've accomplished in life.
Yeah.
Married for 18 years. And most of the people that were on our team that were married have been divorced. You guys have tortured each other through it all. I love you, Cal. And that says a lot about you as a person because you stuck to it. You guys you've basically been pseudo married since 1996, 97.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost 30 years of you two being together, and that's hard for people. That's old school. That's like, that's like our parents' generation where they just stayed married because. You
Yeah.
know, and I know you guys are actually very compatible and stuff like that. But you're on the show because you're expert at what you do. And even if you're not an expert per se at your exact job, you're an expert. You're a great parent. If I asked your kids, are you a good parent? They would say yes. And they're the only ones that can judge how good a parent you are. Right? So
Yeah.
learning to take and accept your flowers, Mr. Social Worker, are important too, because that helps you keep pulling along.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to interrupt you for a second and just remind
No,
you of
I
those,
appreciate that.
because you know we spent so much time like competing, not against each, but just on the basketball court, and it was never like we never got a chance to really like sit down, and we were close, like we were good friends and all, but we never really had it. Like as we've grown up, we've just stayed close, which is weird, and how parallel stuff is with our lives.
Yeah.
But you inspire a lot of people. You know, it takes a lot to have a 22-year-old come in crying in the office, say that you're sad, and be like, listen, you know, you got to be about right now. You got to be in the moment and deal with the grief and deal with the sadness, because leaders call you or text you when they hear about your dad. Leaders, you know, check in with you. You know, Josh was like that too. You know, Mo was like that. And I don't have Mo's number or anything, and that's not a knock on Mo. Mo was like that too. Like our group, Pistol, we were all like close, and that's what made us successful. Not anything. And Rip showed us a lot of that, which is, and we, in the time we were like, oh, I'm tired of running, I'm tired of this. But he showed us how to be a family.
Yeah.
Like going to the movies after Williams, when when Josh came 40, we just
39
go,
out. Yeah.
go to the movie. That's what I'm talking about. And just all of us happen to be there and hanging out, and you know, me knowing Kelly, and you know my kid's mom, and like it's crazy that we started there and now we're here.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that is because of your personality. So this is Kelly's fault, and I'm directly blaming her. When did shit start with Massachusetts? When did you like become like a Boston above all fan?
It's weird. Everything was for its own reason. So Patriots was because that first job I had, that call center job, the CEO's niece, her husband was the backup center for the Patriots, and she worked, part time just to kind of keep busy. So we got to meet her, and Kelly and I went to a couple games. We were actually at the Snowball game when the the Pats beat the Raiders. So that just was because of that. Like I felt like, because we knew the player and we were going, the games we went to. I think we went to two or three games, 2 regular season, then that third one. But she would invite us into the tent after with all the players. Like, so you just felt like a little connected to the team,
Yeah.
And at the time,
I guess
were my team. The Dolphins were my team growing up. I didn't like the New Jersey teams because the Meadowlands was just so plain and boring. It was just that old school AstroTurf, and it was forced down your throat every week. I don't know, for whatever reason, I never liked them. I was a Marino guy, and then Jimmy Johnson had blown that up anyway, so it wasn't like it was the team I liked. Grew up liking. I don't know. I just kind of stuck with them.
I know Jersey. I know John.
The Red Sox, Red Sox is different. So I was a Mets fan, and then just first time going into Fenway, I was just like, wow, this place is cool. I like it. And we would go to a lot of games. So it's to the point, like by 2002, I'd say, I was rooting for the Mets for National League and the Red Sox for American League. Then they signed Manny in 03, I think. Or did they sign him in 02 and 03? They made that run. But anyway, I just and Steve Phillips blew up the Mets, and that team that made the World Series and lost to the Yankees because Roger Clemens didn't get thrown out for throwing a sharded bat at Piazza. I just like dropping that. But anyway, so it just, being so close, you'd see so many games, and it just time went on. And same thing, the Mets team was a whole new team, new players. So it's just like, I don't have the time to reinvest into two teams. And, like I said, so in 2003, I think Kelly and I went to 18 games. I think we bought like 2 4-packs of tickets. We went down to Baltimore for a weekend trip and saw 2 games. For whatever reason, like we just went to a ton of games, and it was just like all in. And then that team was the team that made it to the ALCS and lost to Boone on that home run off of Wakefield. So, by 2004, I'm fully invested. I got my first feeling of that Red Sox getting your heart ripped out when they blew that big lead. So, like I said, it wasn't just like, all right, I'm here now, I'm going to root for these teams. It was just like, it was a slow transition. And then NBA, I'm fair weather on NBA anyway. Like I wouldn't say I'm like a Celtics fan. I just, when the team gets going, I jump on the bandwagon. My heart is with college hoops. So I'm already, it's September 24th. I already got my tickets to the Villanova game in December down at the Prudential Center in Newark. Yeah, I'm all in on college hoops, and the run that Villanova has been on lately. I just always liked them, and I was happy to get an 8 or a 9 seed, win a game or two, and then be out. And then, they've made themselves into a blue blood lately. So it's just put my annoyance to everyone on my Villanova fandom to a whole nother level.
Well, I respect you on
hockey. I could take or leave hockey. It's like whatever.
I'll respect you on Villanova. I'll respect how you got to the Patriots. I don't know about the other stuff. And I'm not a baseball fan.
Yeah, right.
When I was in Massachusetts, I despised all the Massachusetts teams, all the Boston teams. And I've carried that disdain with me for my whole life. So I'll just put that out there.
It makes it fun, though. That's the fun part of sports. As tight as we are, we can give each other shit over that. It's like,
oh yeah. Do you remember when the Patriots lost to the Packers while we were in school?
I do. Honestly, I do. I remember it happening. We had practice that day, earlier in the day. I went back to my dorm room, and I don't even think I had showered before I crashed. I crashed hard. I woke up, it was already halftime, and the game was pretty much over. I got cleaned up, watched the second half. It was just like, what? But I do remember that.
Who was the best pickup the Patriots have had? I have an answer. I want to see what you think. Like, just not somebody they drafted, somebody they got in free agency.
Well, I'm biased to Chris Hogan.
So let me ask you a question. I forgot that was your boy. I couldn't remember his name. Chris Hogan for a season or Moss for a season?
Oh, well, I mean, let's not be stupid. I mean, we're talking about all-time greats. No, Moss, that year with Moss, I mean, he was there 2 or 3 years, but that year when they went undefeated, right, that was, incredible. He just, imagine if Brady had someone like that his whole career. It was just like, here, this is what I can do.
You meet Gronk?
Yeah, but he didn't have that speed to just like that fly around. Last regular.
No. Did you meet him?
No, I never met Gronk.
Oh, I want to know how big he was because that looks like a big dude.
Yeah, he's a monster. I met Brady, not met him, but shook his hand super quick. His rookie year, and Bledsoe too in that 10.
Oh, okay.
I have
who had a stronger handshake?
I think Brady at the time, because Bledsoe, like, man, he was out of it. So this was only 2 weeks later, I think. Like, he was really not well.
Yeah.
So and it's funny. He actually pointed out my mother-in-law's hands. He was like, "Your hands are freezing." But yeah, no, it was cool experience to be a part of.
Yeah, great experience. Love it. So happy for you. Love you, Patriots. Um, so as we get close to wrap up, because it's been an hour and 20 minutes already.
Yeah, I mean, 10:20. The kids and Kelly are shutting it down anyway, so you
Kelly
take as
doesn't
long as you
sleep.
need. No, she doesn't. Probably watching Netflix.
So what are you? Since you mentioned that, what are you watching now? What shows are you watching?
Well, she watches on her Kindle, so we kind of do our own thing. I fall asleep too easy, so it's hard to get into stuff. So I just rewatch the same stand-ups over and over and over.
That sounds so much like you. What's your favorite stand-up?
I have a lot that I like, and there's different for different reasons. Like
Okay.
so for a really good storyteller, Mike Birbiglia. If you haven't seen him, I really like him. He's a storyteller.
Okay.
Ties the whole thing together. Um, if you want like a little more dirty, the Tom Segura's and Bill Burr's of the world are hilarious.
Bill Burr's is hard. Oh, he's funny.
Yeah, I like Sebastian Maniscalco. He's funny too. And then you got the big stars. You can't go wrong with Chappelle ever. I've watched
He's
his
out of his.
over and over. Yeah, he's one of a kind. I just recently do on the Chappelle show again too.
Oh, I love the Chappelle show.
Yeah,
Wayne Brady does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?
There's so many good skits.
There are a lot. 10-year-old jersey, 20-year-old jersey, 30-year-old jersey, and you now. Sit down to dinner. What is dinner like, and what are you talking about?
Every one of those jerseys loves pizza, so I'm guessing we're sitting down over some Star Pizza in Orange, New Jersey. What are we talking about? God, I don't know. Sports, probably. Whether it's I don't know. Probably, yeah, it's just sports. I don't know what it would be about though. So our all-time favorite players.
Ooh.
10-year-old jersey would be Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry. 20-year-old jersey would be like a Ray Ordonez or someone on the Mets team. And I don't know if he was there yet when I was 20. 30-year-old jersey was rocking his Manny jersey. 40 was riding the tail end of Poppy's career.
Okay. Top 5 NBA players.
God, this is one that never gets old. So number one to me is Jordan, and I know Kareem's numbers are just out of this world, but Jordan to me was the best. What he could do, how he could take over a game on both sides of the court, offense and defense. Just for me, he's number one. I think you got to go with the big three for the forwards. To me, got to get in the top 5. But so Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan make it for me.
Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Who else?
And then that's where it gets tricky. So do you go big guy? Do you
can go wherever you want because it's your 5.
Yeah. And you probably ask me the same question in a week, and I'd probably give you a different answer. Recently, I'm throwing Bird in there from the sole purpose of I've been reading a lot of his stories of just how much shit he talked and how he backed it up. I remember how nasty he was, but to hear him, who was it? It was John Stockton. So not even like some schlub, it was John Stockton. He said he walked by their bench, was like, it feels like a 43 kind of night. He dropped 43 by the third quarter and sat out the whole fourth quarter. Like, that's just nasty. And then for the big man, I mean, it's tough. Kareem, Russell, Shaq, like you got some monsters, and you could fight for every one of them to be your big guy. I don't know, and that's the tough. Do you go by position or you just go by top 5 players?
Oh no, that was top 5. So now all-time starting 5.
All right.
So now this
now
one
you
will be
got to
about.
go by position.
Yep.
Oh, so do they consider Steph point guard?
It's your team, Steph.
So Steph
2.
He's tricking me. So I'd put Kobe at the 2, Jordan at the 3.
Okay. Kobe, Jordan. 4.
See, I'd throw you off and throw Duncan at the 4 and then back it up with like Wilt at 5 and I wouldn't lose.
All right. So that's your 5. So let's see. What
I don't know. Like I said, you could ask me.
Good. I would say Magic at point for me.
Yeah.
Jordan at 2. KD at 3.
You know he was gonna be on there for you.
Duncan, I guess, but if I can't do Duncan, then I would probably do Weber, because Weber was a beast too.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And then you know who I would have at 5? The daddy.
Diesel?
Of course. That would be a good series. That would be a really good series.
I went to summer school with his nephew or something. Had a big old diamond earring. He was like, my uncle bought a pair of earrings and gave me one because he only needed the one.
Jeez. Top. Also, you in the comic book movies and stuff like that, or Marvel, DC? Not really. A little bit.
I watch them, but Kelly and Jack always get first dibs on that because they're bigger fans. So they catch them all. I've seen some. The problem right now is any movie we go to, they know I'm going to fall asleep. So I've been in front of a lot of them. Whether or not I've seen them all is a whole other story. I took a nap just to be ready for this thing.
I love it. Top 5 movies of all time for you.
That's tough. Because I could fill it up real quick with comedies.
Go ahead. It's your top 5.
No, I'm a sucker for The Fugitive.
The Fugitive is a good movie.
Yeah, I love. What's the movie? The jailbreak one. Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank, yep.
I like Good Will Hunting. I can throw that on still to this day every now and then.
Oh, I use that all the time for therapy.
Yeah, nice. And I'll fill it in with a couple. It was.
This is man with the
I'll throw in some comedies. Anchorman's hilarious.
Oh, that's your boy.
I'm forgetting something. Superbad was funny, but there's other ones I'm forgetting.
That's good. The Fugitive, Shawshank, Good Will Hunting, Anchorman, and Superbad. That's a good 5. That's a good 5. All right.
First time I saw Shawshank was on one of our bus trips. Pride bought it on and put it in. So we saw it on our bus ride to one of those, long trips. Route 2.
Remember we had to drive our senior year?
Yeah. Driving those buses. Vans,
they'd be like, Killy, you in Jersey drive. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when we so we would have to play a game. We drove back from New York, right? When we played NYU.
Yeah.
NYU.
Yep.
I was half asleep because I don't remember 90% of the drive. I remember stopping Pete off, and I was just like, I don't know how we made it.
Yeah.
Because they were all asleep. They would all be asleep. And it was like, sometimes you get to ride together, but most times it's like, oh yeah, you be in a van, you have all these people, you'd be like, dude, I'm tired too.
Yeah, right. We have drivers.
Yeah, that was fun. No, those bus trips were fun. Those van trips
Oh yeah,
with the
that's where you made the bonds too. Just the nonsense you talk about. You know,
uh-huh.
I wasn't one stupid enough to ever try to freestyle, but some of the rap battles, just good stuff.
Where do we used to go all the time to eat? It was like the buffet kind, Old Country Buffet.
Yeah, Old Country Buffet.
Old Country. Rip found one in every town.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
And there was the little, what was it, Perkins, or there was something on Greenville or Greenfield.
Yep.
There was some spot we would
yeah.
always hit.
In Greenfield, right next. It was like kind of a fake IHOP.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember
Rich broke the table once.
How do you remember? Dude, that was some good times. That was so much. College was so much fun. I was over it by February though. I remember when our junior year when we were playing, I was just like it, and we were playing a long time. We played a lot of games that season. I was just like, I'm so done. I'm so done right now. Because
every year we would finish and be like, what do people do in all this time?
Because we started basically once we got on campus.
Oh yeah, as soon as we just started to pick up right away.
Yeah, and then that was going on until ball started, and then Rip would try to murder us by running, and then it was just like, yeah, I'm good. No, I'm dying.
Yeah.
February, March
was over. I just shut it down.
That was the worst. Now I got an old man knee, and I have to get the other one scoped.
Knee, hip pumps.
Knee, hip, back, neck.
Just walking is a problem.
People are like, "Oh, you're so old." I go, "You know, I played basketball for 30 years." Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Last question, sir.
Okay.
If you could be any superhero or supervillain, who would you be and why? And if you don't know one specifically, you can pick a power.
Yeah, I mean, I know enough to answer that. I don't know. I mean, I think you got to go Superman just because he's got so much, you know? Faster than his speed and bullet.
That's Superman hoops.
Yeah, you're not getting a charge on him. He's flying right over you.
No, I wouldn't try. I made the mistake of being in the wrong position, and I wasn't trying to take a charge against Horton. But he hit me right in my chest. There's been 2 people that ever hit me in my chest where I was like, I don't ever want to take a charge again. And we did a lot.
Yeah.
Mario Horton, and I played against this kid when I was in high school. I think he was 18. His name was Bernard Drain. He got arrested like 2 years later. Now, he was 6'3", like 250. In high school, I was like 210. This guy hit me in my chest. I was like, geez, I'm good. My coach was like, he's throwing you around like a rag doll. I go, he's all muscle.
Yeah.
And he's grown man muscle. Now, I'm 16, and I'm not little, but I'm not as big as I am now.
Yeah.
Different. But, yo, that was the worst ever. Ever. Jers, I appreciate you taking the time to pop on the show.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor. Just like I said, actually seeing your face is cool. You know, we talk all the time. We mess around on text. Keep in touch with each other. But this was cool.
Yeah, we got to make some Zoom meets, some Zoom hangouts.
Yeah, I'm down.
So, adversity is not without comforts and hopes. I feel like that's you. A lot comes from adversity. Yes. So, jurors, give us 2 minutes. The slate for October, it's still in flux, but my friend Michelle's going to be back on October 8th, and Patty and Asia are coming in on the 15th to discuss all the stuff going on in their lives, the big changes. on board. Patty's going to discuss 4 years of us being married. Went by so fast.
As I say, yeah.
We also, in honor of Jersey being here, we're going to unveil the new Everyday Experts thumbnail. Mr. Munoz, please give the people a preview. That is going to be our new thumbnail. And we'll start using it in October. I want to thank Rachel in co-branding for coming up with the design. Thank you, Mr. Munoz. We're going to go out a little bit different. Jers.
Yes, sir.
If you could say goodbye to Mr. Thielen, and this is for Ashley and the kids, what would you say to him? If you got a chance to really like see him, kind of say goodbye, what would you say to him?
Thanks for the friendship. Thanks for, like I said, the brotherhood. It was the same thing with him and I as you and I. Like, we would just text back and forth like no time has passed. So just thanks for the unending friendship, and being a brother, and thanks for showing me, that saying the word "you love you" to another man is okay. That you can be brothers, and just I do miss you, man. I had heard the news, and I sent him a message that I know he'll never read, but some words stay between each other forever. And just thanks for being a friend, man. Miss you.
Yeah, I would say thank you for who you are. You will surely be missed, and you are always appreciated. Like I said before, anything Ashley, you and the kids need, anybody in the family needs, you let us know. We're there for you. I would tell Thielen, thanks for showing us, how to win. Where I came from, it wasn't like Jersey. We used to get smacked in basketball. We did. And watching somebody work and put in that work was awesome. Watching him, Mo, it's the same thing, the same kind of, just the work ethic they put in was, awesome to watch him grow as a player. And more importantly, I appreciate you keeping our roots strong. Because like Jersey said, you showed us a lot. And you were there for us. And that's appreciated. Kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit. You were all of those things. Very kind, very loved. You will be missed dearly. And if I could say anything to you, it would be like, you're the man. So, Jers, you're the man. Matt, can you bring up the picture and take us out, please, sir?
Nice.